There are many people in need in the world. Unfortunately, most people don't care about the problems of those in need since they're only concerned with their own problems. Fortunately, there are also many incredible and unusual exceptions in our world. People who are gratuitously and selfishly ready to help those in need, which doesn't just help their particular situation, but also helps restore our faith in humanity. This video features all the best, incredible, amazing, unusual, interesting, and informative stories from around the world that will restore your faith in humanity, and which you haven't heard of before. A Chinese millionaire initiated the demolition of houses in his childhood village and built luxury apartments and villas for his former fellow villagers, giving them to the local residents for free. Sheng Xihua chose this way to express his gratitude to the village residents for their kindness towards him in the past. The businessman completely transformed the Xinu village in southern China. Xihua moved 72 families into new apartments in low-rise luxury buildings. Moreover, the millionaire built villas for 18 more families that were particularly kind towards him. The villagers also got new green areas, statues, a playground, and an art center. Xihua explained that he's made more money than he's capable of spending, and he's not planning on forgetting his roots. I always pay my debts and wanted to make sure that the people who helped me when I was younger and my family were paid back, he emphasized. The amount he spent on the project hasn't been disclosed. The businessman also promised to regularly visit the village to make sure that people with the lowest income, as well as the elderly, are not in need of anything. The locals approved of Xihua's philanthropic impulse. I remember his parents. They were kind-hearted people who cared very much for others, and it's great that their son inherited that kindness, one of the elderly locals said. The 54-year-old Sheng Xihua made his fortune working on projects in the steel industry. A boy named Camden was a bit different from his peers as he suffered from apraxia, which is why he was being homeschooled. His peers didn't want to be friends with him because of the disorder. Camden literally didn't have a single close friend. His parents knew how much it unsettled and upset their son and decided to do something about it. Shortly before Camden's 10th birthday, they posted his story on their Facebook and invited everyone to become Camden's friend by coming to his party. The post immediately went viral. Many people were touched by Camden's story and decided to support him by coming to his birthday celebration. The boy's parents didn't expect many people to come to the party, so imagine their surprise when more than 300 strangers arrived at their celebration, each of them wanting to become Camden's friend. The birthday boy got many balloons and a big, delicious cake. In addition, the boy got congratulations from people who couldn't come personally. They sent him all kinds of gifts from all over the world. It's great that at least for one day, Camden got to experience what it's like to be surrounded by friends who truly care about you. Yet another story about humanity and compassion. Dan Black, wheelchair-bound by a cycling accident in 2009, didn't lose hope of walking again someday. The money he raised over the last 4 years was supposed to pay for an experimental stem cell treatment that could have helped the 25-year-old Dan walk again. However, after reading about the plight of a 5-year-old boy named Brecken, who was suffering from spastic diplegia, which is a kind of cerebral palsy, Dan decided that the little boy had a better chance of walking and donated the money to him instead. Brecken's parents described Dan's generosity as phenomenal and said that it was a huge boost towards the 60,000 pounds needed for the surgery, which would allow their son to walk on his own. Dan from Chepstow, the same Welsh town as Brecken, said, "My chances for a successful surgery aren't that great. I wanted to help someone whose life could get better. If I can help someone walk, I'll be happy, and Brecken will walk if he gets the surgery." Brecken uses a walking frame because he was born with the rare disease that causes stiffness in his legs. Before Dan's gift, the family had managed to raise 11,000 pounds for the surgery in the US. The boy's mother, Anne, 44 years old, said, "What Dan has done is amazing. It is a phenomenal gift. His father, Rob, also 44 years old, added, "It's heartbreaking that Brecken can't play with his friends, but Dan has taken us well over halfway to our target." Difficult financial situations often put obstacles in our way, but sometimes persistence and simple humanity are enough to overcome these circumstances. Walter Carr, a 20-year-old student, had to walk 32 kilometers to work because his car broke down and he ran out of money. The incident recently happened in the Birmingham suburbs in Alabama. Walter Carr got a job at Bellhops, which offers moving services through their platform. He had just paid his rent and had no money left at all. And on the eve of Carr's first day of work, his car broke down. He was afraid to miss the first day of work as he really needed this job. He also couldn't call a taxi since he didn't have any money. But instead of calling in and asking for the day off from work, Carr decided to walk there. He studied Google Maps and prepared a route from Homewood, where he lived, to Pelham, where the client who needed help with her move lived. He had a long way to go, as according to the service calculations, the distance between Homewood and Pelham was 32 kilometers, about 8 hours of walking. Carr used to be a runner, so he knew it would take him less time. Having slept for a couple hours, Carr hit the road. At about 4 a.m., having covered over half the distance, Carr sat down to rest for a bit because of the muscle pain. He was spotted by police. The young man's story moved the policeman, and he offered to treat Carr to breakfast and take him to work. The young man's story moved the policeman, and he offered to treat Carr to breakfast and take him to work. By 6:30 a.m., the policeman had already brought Carr to the house of Jennifer Laney, the client who booked help with the move. Having heard Carr's story, she offered him to sleep for a bit at her house, but he refused and got to work. Walter told the woman how he and his mother lost their house in New Orleans to Hurricane Katrina in 2005, and his family moved 503 kilometers to Birmingham. Now he's studying to become a Marine and works part-time as a mover. 2 more Bellhops employees who were supposed to work together with Carr arrived a bit later. One of them gave Walter a ride home. The story doesn't end there, however. The next day, Laney called Carr's manager and told him about his employee. After she published a short but emotional post on Facebook, it immediately went viral. To date, the post has over 10,000 likes and 1,000 comments. Laney also started a GoFundMe campaign to raise $2,000 for Carr to improve his financial situation. His efforts amazed thousands of people. The crowdfunding campaign raised $90,000 for Walter in just 4 days. Over 2,000 people donated. The story was picked up by the Washington Post, The Independent, and other publications. However, Carr's car problems were solved even before he got the money. On Sunday, July 15th, Walter got a call from Luke Marklin, Bellhop's CEO, who said that he wanted to meet Walter to thank him for his efforts. On Monday, Carr came to the meeting. It took him about 20 minutes to walk there, where Marklin gave him the keys to his car, a 2014 Ford Escape. I'm very proud to work on the same team as Walter. We set the bar high for our service, and he just raised it even higher, Luke Marklin tweeted. I hope my story will inspire others to keep going after their goals. I wanted to show that I am dedicated to mine. I decided that I would get to work no matter what. Now I tell people, if you think 32 kilometers is a lot, try walking in my shoes. They give terrible blisters, says Carr. It's in the power of any one of us to change the world for the better. Like this video and share it with your friends. We'll see you next time.